You would think I would remember to turn the sound on. I'm so sorry. I saw some people saying no sound. I've got two streams going and I forgot to turn the sound on one of them. So sorry. Let's start over. I'm Tamara Bennett from Southern Adoornments Decor. How are you? If you're not following me, please hop on over to Southern Adoornments Decor's Facebook page and click the follow button. And I paint live every single week on my Facebook page. We paint these wooden cutouts just like this, only sometimes they're different shapes. This week, we have been painting this daisy pot door hanger design. Now, the first night, we painted it like this right here. And this is like a beginner would paint it, someone in stage one. So I have a membership. The membership is called the Painters Clubhouse. And in that membership, we teach two new designs every single month. And so these are great to hang on your front door, to welcome people into your home, or they're great to display like on a wreath or to put up like on a shelf as like mantle decor. You could do anything for them. Now this size here is smaller than your traditional door hanger. Let me show you as I hold it up here. You can probably see more size comparison. It's about 12 inches. I'm painting this size just because it goes a little faster on Facebook Live. But if you're going to hang one on your door, you would probably want more like 18 to 22 inches, around about there. Hello, Mom. I see my mom's watching. She's down in Florida right now, far away from me. Missing you. Thank you for sprinkling the love, Michelle. Hello, Mandy, PC sister. Hi, Tony. How are you? Hello, Sheila. And then I see we've got people watching from the Deco Art Facebook page. Welcome. Hello. As you guys know, I love my Deco Art paints. I use the Americana version of their paints in the acrylic, matte acrylics. And so that's what I'm going to be using tonight. I'm going to like try to remember to tell you guys the paint colors and things like that. If you're interested in doing one of these projects, hey, Sarah Williams, girlfriend, what are you doing? Are you staying warm? I think she still has electricity in Texas. So last night we painted this one. So you can see the difference, right? So this was the first night. This is the second night. So you can see the difference. On the second night, we painted it more like we were in stage 2. It has a little bit more detail, a little bit more personality. A person in stage 2 is starting to play with their paint colors a little bit more and starting to add patterns. So tonight we're going to be painting it as if we are in stage 3. And this is where it really starts to get fun. So my membership, the Painters Clubhouse, we teach 2 designs every single month. We provide you guys with the printable template. You can also use these like in a Glowforge or a laser cutter machine of some sort. But if you can't cut your own shape, we do teach you how to cut it with a jigsaw, by the way. But if you can't, for some reason, whatever that may be, you can buy the wood blanks from us and you can use your 20% off discount code that Painters Clubhouse members get to get your blanks 20% off. And you can get them mailed directly to you. Hello, Jerry and Melissa and Debbie. You guys are excited. Awesome. This is going to be fun. Okay. And so something else we're going to add tonight is a monogram. So I thought we might add my monogram, the letter B right here. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I literally just printed this out on some printer paper. I just created a circle. Like you could do that in Canva or some kind of print shop program you have on your phone or your computer. I don't know how people do that nowadays, but I did mine in Procreate. And then I exported the JPEG. I opened it up in my computer and I told my computer to print it at 75% scale. So I just kind of guessed that that would probably be about right. And I must have guessed right because it was like the perfect size. So that's what we're going to be doing here in just a few minutes. Michelle said she signed up last night for the whole year. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you as in our Painters Clubhouse. Sheila says, I'm trying to fix my printer. You got to print them templates, girl. Okay, let me take this banner down off the screen so that you guys can see everything I'm doing because I don't want it to be in your way. And like I said, if you want to get the printable template to this design, this is called the Daisy Pot. You can find it at shopdoorhangers.com or in the link in the video description that we put up above. You can also get the wood blank there as well. We have over probably 500 or 600 different designs in there. So if you don't like this one, we've got something for everybody. There's a little search bar in there and you can search for whatever designs you want. Hello, Rosanna from Tennessee. Do you have snow there? Okay, Jill says wishing for a giveaway. I'm glad you said that, Jill, because I totally forgot to tell you guys who won these designs. So the past 2 nights, we have done a giveaway. If you sprinkle the love and comment that you've done so, you're entered to win. The first winner of this one right here is April Freeman Cherry. And I believe she's already been contacted. So y'all tell April, congratulations. And then the second one for night 2 was Elizabeth Knack, Knaak. So if you are April or Elizabeth, congratulations. And if you want to win the one we're doing tonight, be sure and share and sprinkle. Oops, I said the word I wasn't supposed to say. Sprinkle the love all across Facebook and let us know that you've done so in the comments. Let me go back so I can see comments for sure. Hello, Wanda. Thank you. Okay, this is going to be exciting. Let's go ahead and take my sweater off because it's already getting warm in here with all my ring lights going. We can't be hot while we're painting. The next stage is putting the hair up in the scrunchie. So hopefully we won't have to do that because I actually have curls today. Hello, Lejana. Okay, so let's real quick before we get started, go over the colors that I've chosen. That's not to say I won't deviate from these and pick something else in addition to these. But we're starting out with Deco Art Hauser Light Green and Medium Green. Those are going to be like our colors for our leaves and things. And then we have Peony Pink, Brilliant Purple, and Laguna. These are going to be the colors of our flowers. It's a teal, a purple, and a pink. Lovely colors. And these are all some of my favorites that I use all the time. Now, the pot, we're going to do a little differently. We're going to do this color called Burlap. It's a nice tan. And then we're going to add some leopard print with this honey brown color. And then we're going to use the Bahama Blue. No, wait, not the Bahama Blue. Hold on. I changed my mind midway through sentence. The Sea Aqua. See the difference between Bahama Blue and Sea Aqua? Do you see that? This one's got a little bit more green in it. So I want to use this one. I think it will look really nice with this burlap color. So we're going to use this on the inside of our circle here. And then we may add a little bit more if we decide to add polka dots or something like that. You never know. So let's get started. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you, guys. You guys got plenty of sleet. Let's see. If you're watching inside of Facebook, you may have to be on my page or Deco Arts page in order to sprinkle the love. If you're watching inside of a group, that may not be possible. So you may have to hop over to a different live stream in order to be able to sprinkle. Okay, let's start. I was making sure I was caught up on my comments. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? I totally forgot to grab an egg carton, put my paint in. Luckily, they're right here in my closet. So I'm going to reach over here and grab one real quick. I had used the other one up. It was so full of paint. Okay, and then we're just going to set this right up here. And let's start with the colors of our leaves. It doesn't really matter what you start with. I think every night I've started with something different. So you just, whatever you feel like you want to start with, that's fine. But we're going to start with the leaves. And I'm just going to use a little flat tip brush. Hello, Tammy. First time catching me live. Welcome. Hi, Vicki. Okay. We're using the Hauser Light Green, the one that we mentioned earlier. And we're going to just paint our leaves this color. We've done it this way every night. So this is nothing new so far. If you've watched every night, this has pretty much been what we've done. So we're not changing up the leaves and things so much, but we are going to be changing up a lot of the patterns and designs and things like that. So every night we've tried to paint it a little bit differently so that you guys could see the progression and skill level from somebody who goes from stage 1 all the way to stage 4 in the Painters Clubhouse. So tomorrow night will be stage 4 night. So if you're watching right now and you're in the Painters Clubhouse, what stage are you in? What stage do you think you're in? We have like a little success path where you can kind of take the quiz and you can figure out what stage you're in. So I'm curious for those of you watching, what stage you think you're in. Somebody in stage 3 is usually beginning to change some of the original design up a little bit. They're starting to add their own touches to things. Lots of pattern. They're starting to personalize things a little bit more with maybe some hand lettering. They may even start to create their own template designs or at least change, existing designs to fit their needs a little better. If you guys didn't see it, I have done 3 interviews on my Facebook Live earlier today with 3 different members of the Painters Clubhouse who are all in stage 3. So, if you want to learn more about, what our Painters Clubhouse members are actually saying about the membership, you might want to just go and listen to those interviews. Okay, I'm seeing Robin says she's in stage 2. Laura says she's in stage 1. It won't be long before you get to stage 3. Stage 3, it doesn't take very long to get there. Stage 4 does take a little longer, but stages 1 and 2 are pretty quick. Mandy says, I'm kind of in stage 3 and 4. Sheila said the same thing. Awesome. Pam thinks she's transitioned to stage 2. Awesome. Let me check over here. Melissa says stage 3. Sherry says 2.5. I like that. That's funny. Katie Gilchrist said, I just joined and I think I'm stage 2 already. That's totally fine. You don't have to be a complete beginner in order to join Painters Clubhouse. I think that's a common misconception because I talk about beginners a lot on here. But we have several people who have been painting for years that end up joining Painters Clubhouse. And there's different reasons that they choose to join. So somebody who's been painting for years may choose to join just because they feel like they're lacking inspiration and they need a little bit of community, and they want to feel like they're not painting alone anymore. They may want to learn some new techniques that they didn't already know. And so you don't have to be a complete beginner to join. But if you haven't painted before, if you are a beginner, that's totally okay too. So I just took a little bit of that Hauser medium green and put it right here in the middles, kind of behind some of these leaves. Debbie says, I think I'm stage 1.5. Hello, Jen, stage 3. Wanda says 2.5. Sherry says probably still a 1. Vicky says I'm dabbling in stage 2. Oh, thank you. Debbie pointed out I missed the leaf in the top left. Thank you for that. I was getting ready to go back and do my second coat, so I'm glad you caught that. Now, something else that people in stage 3 will begin to do is add some shading. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to add some shading, and we're going to add some more patterns and things like that. So as I'm putting on this second coat of green, I'm going to just pick up, actually, I'm going to switch brushes. I like to do my shading with an angle tip brush. And I like to put the darker color on the longest tip of that angle. So I'm going to get that brush a little bit wet, pick up just a little bit of that Hauser medium green that's a little darker. And I'm going to shade that in with a damp brush along the outer edge of each of these leaves. And so it's going to give this more of like a dimensional sort of look. So up until now, we haven't done any shading on any of these door hangers. And so this will provide a little bit more interest. Actually, it's better. Let me see if I have one. I need a something flat. Hold on. This isn't flat, but this will do. Let me show you a little trick. Whenever you're getting ready to do shading, if you can put your colors sort of side by side. So I'm going to do a little bit there of that color and a little bit here of this color. This is the Hauser light green and the Hauser medium green. Put just a tad side by side, just like that. And then we're going to dip in both colors. So I'm going to put the darker color on the long point. Can you see that? Well, maybe you can. And then we're going to paint each leaf with that darker long point on the outer edge of the leaf. And see how that starts to blend really nicely? Creates a darker shade on the edge. Thank you for sprinkling the love, Mary. You'll be entered in for the drawing. Let's see. Okay, Dottie, have you emailed support? You've got to email support@paintersclubhouse.com. So Catherine said she used to own a ceramic shop, and so she said she would probably be in stage 3. That's probably true. If you used to own a ceramic shop, you're probably a little bit more experienced. Okay, so see how that has a real nice shading into it. So I'm just dipping in both colors at the same time, and I'm kind of just dragging it along the outer edge of these leaves. Now we have videos inside the Painters Clubhouse that you get instant access to that actually explain this a little bit more in depth. So if you're struggling right now to kind of figure out exactly what I'm doing and you feel like, oh goodness, I'm gonna have to watch this again and I'm gonna have to practice it to really get it down, then go back and watch those videos in the Painters Clubhouse, and they will help sort of explain it a little better. Erica Wallace, one of our members, actually went live in the group just this last week and did another tutorial on this, and she explained it really well. So if it's something you're struggling with, I highly recommend watching that video. Now, when you join Painters Clubhouse, you get instant access to over at least 3 years worth of door hanger tutorials and things. And so we teach 2 door hangers every single month in the group. And so you get access to all of those videos from the very beginning, not to mention all the templates that go along with those. And so you're not going to have a lack of things to paint. Betty said, I want to do this so bad. What's holding you back, Betty? You like my egg tray? This is from the Dollar Tree, I believe. Somebody gifted it to me a while back. They gave it to me. And so I get it out occasionally and use it, but I prefer the foam egg cartons. I think it keeps the paint from drying out as badly. And so I like using those better. But in a pinch, sometimes I'll use this. So we're just adding a little bit of shading to our leaves. Taking that darker green. Oh, I already did that leaf, didn't I? I was doing it again. Let's do these in the middle here. I almost forgot about those. And while I'm doing this, I'm also kind of giving these leaves like a second coat because they only had one coat on them to begin with. There we go. Oh, that looks much better. So let me show you a comparison real quick. So these are the leaves from night 1. And these are the leaves from tonight. Can you see the shading? You can see the difference, right? Especially on these 2 bottom leaves here. You can really see the difference in the shading. Somebody said, Miss Betty, just jump. You'll love it. Yep. Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and join, and you're not going to be locked in. This is not like something you can't cancel at any time. Like you could totally cancel at any time. You aren't locked in for any amount of time. So just join, and you can cancel if it's not for you. But if you're like many of our members, you're going to become instantly hooked on door hanger painting, and you're going to love the community that's in there. You're going to love the support you receive, and you're not going to want to leave. Wanda said, where do existing clubhouse members find the bonuses? You may have to ask our camp counselor. That's also known as our community manager, Miss Megan Ramus. She probably knows where they're hidden in there. They're not really hidden, but I did not add them to the site, so I'm not 100% sure exactly where they're at. Okay, so now I'm taking this burlap color that we talked about earlier, and I'm adding this to the pot. And so this is just going to be our base coat. And then we're going to do some leopard print on top of that. As you can see, I got kind of wild and got on top of my leaf there, but it's okay. Because with all the other details we're going to put on here, it's not going to matter so much if I get outside the lines a little bit somewhere. That's the beauty of paint. Does anybody have any questions? I will try to keep up with your questions in the comments. Michaela says, one day for me. Michaela, you could do it today. I know you've already been painting for some time. You could totally do this today. I think you're probably tricking yourself by telling yourself that you can't do it yet. You know, I don't know what your financial situation is. I don't know if money is the holdback for you or if it's self-confidence. But either way, if it's money, what could you maybe give up? Like, are you drinking Starbucks coffee pretty regularly, or are you paying for too many television streaming services? Because goodness knows we are. Is there something you could give up that maybe doesn't mean that much to you, that this is something that could change your life? I know that sounds super dramatic when I say it that way, but I said it that way because we have had so many of our own members say that. Just Roxana Griffin, that was on here last night, has said joining the Painters Clubhouse has been life-changing for her. It taught her a skill, confidence. It helped her start her business, and all of that has changed her family's finances. It's changed the way she looks at herself, and it's so important. Okay, Michaela says I'm a college student. Well, Michaela, being a college student's hard, right? Like, do you work a job outside of taking classes? Because if you do, or if you don't, like maybe doing paint parties in like on the college campus could help you pay for some of your extra expenses. Oh, Jennifer says, can you see my question above? Let me scroll up, Jennifer. Hold on. Okay. Jennifer says, I'm thinking about doing my own wood cutting. Is there a specific brand or size bolt of jigsaw? I don't know about bolts, but I just use a Skill, S-K-I-L brand jigsaw. It's a super cheap one. You can get them at Lowe's. I think they're about $40. And I use the 20 TPI blades like Suzanne is talking about here in the comments. And make sure you get the wood the ones that are for cutting wood. It'll say on the packaging, but then get these skinny little scrolling blades that have 20 TPI. That's what I recommend. Debbie says, does the membership come with free templates for the month, or do we have to pay for them each month? So the templates are the printables. Okay. I don't want to confuse anybody. The templates are the printables that you get. They do come with 2 of those every month. Plus you get all of the ones that we have released over the past 3 years. That's 2 a month for 3 years. That's a lot. And so what else was I going to say about that? These, if you're wanting the wood pieces, these are not called templates. They're called blanks. Sometimes people get confused about that. So I just wanted to make sure and clear that up. So if it's templates, the printables you're wanting, you get 2 a month. Vicki, if you can't see all the comments, it's because I'm going between 2 live streams here. And some people are watching from YouTube and stuff like that. So when I pop them up on the screen, sometimes they're from another stream. Hello, Deco Art. I'm so glad you're here with us. If you guys have questions about Deco Art paint they're watching right now, you can ask and I will pop their answers up on the screen. Where do we find the template for this one? Kim, this one's in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com. It's also up in the video description up above. What's the name of the color I'm using now? This one is called Burlap. It's a Deco Art Americana color, Burlap. That's what we just used down here. I'm fixing to do a second coat. I was talking to give it time to dry. So let's put a second coat on that real quick. And then we're going to start painting our flowers. And then in a little bit, we're going to do some leopard print down here. And we're going to add a monogram. And we're going to do some shading on our flowers. So this one might take a little bit longer tonight than some of them have been taking. But it's okay. I'm not going anywhere. When are paints going to fill our shelves again? That's a question for Deco Art. So Deco Art, if you're watching, they want to know when paints are going to fill their shelves again. I think last night they commented about that, and they are working hard to do that. I think for a long time they were having to work on with less capacity in the factory, not as many workers due to COVID and stuff like that. Here in Kentucky, our governor has some very strict restrictions on what businesses have been able to do. And so it's really kind of tied their hands quite a bit. So I think now they're back in the swing of things and trying to get the paint made and back on the shelves. But in the meantime, you can order your paint online at decoart.com. I believe it's shop.decoart.com. Somebody said I want to join so bad, but I have social anxiety. Okay. If you haven't noticed, I've been sitting here picking at my fingernail or my cuticle, and that's because that's anxiety coming to the surface. I get a little nervous every time I do a Facebook Live. So I have a little bit of it too. I'm a little bit more of an extrovert maybe than you would be. But let me tell you a story real quick. We have a member, and all of our Painters Clubhouse members know her. She is now one of the stars in the Painters Clubhouse, Erica Wallace. When she joined back in the beginning, she had severe introvert issues. Like she had severe social anxiety. She had no self-confidence, and she called herself a wallflower. She was just a watcher. She never like interacted. She never commented or anything. And then through the Painters Clubhouse and building confidence in herself with painting, she eventually became a little bit more confident in herself. And she started posting things in the Clubhouse. Well, then she started getting comments and feedback from Clubhouse sisters about what she was doing. And eventually, whoops, I just put my hand on that wet paint. Eventually, we asked her to teach a tutorial in the Clubhouse because she had posted a gorgeous American flag that was made of wood. And so she said yes, even though she was terrified. And she taught that tutorial in the Clubhouse. And after that, you know what? She came out of her shell. She said, I felt like I had found my people. And so her husband has even commented since then that he feels like he's gotten the old Erica back, because for the longest time, she had kind of retreated into being like a mother and a wife, and she had lost her sense of individual self. And through painting and Painters Clubhouse and growing those relationships inside the group, she has blossomed. And she's now what I called one of the stars of our Painters Clubhouse. She goes live in there pretty regularly and shares tips and tricks. She's even started her own teaching group, painting. And she does paint parties in her hometown. She's a shining example of how you can go from being severely introverted to finding yourself again, finding some inner self-confidence that you didn't know you could have, and finding your people. So don't let the severe anxiety get you down. Like, if you are willing to give it a try, I think you would be so surprised at what a benefit it can be. This color is called Peony Pink. I just painted this little flower this color. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to do a shading coat on it in just a moment. Here's our answer from Deco Art. Great question. Yes, it's been a challenging year. We're actually still working with less capacity. We were shut down for 2.5 months due to being deemed a non-essential business. Like paint's not essential. Come on, people. Of course paint's essential. I want everybody to write a letter to the governor of Kentucky that Deco Art is an essential business. She said, we're now back in action. We're working through a backlog of orders and filling shelves as fast as we can. We ship orders daily to Michael's, Hobby Lobbies, and Joanne. And we predict by April that we'll be caught up. Woohoo! Thank you so much for typing out that long answer. I appreciate you giving us an update. I know everybody's been asking and they're wanting to know. Oh my goodness. Everybody is saying Erica is amazing. Erica is wonderful. She's so supportive. Erica, are you watching right now? Are you on? Yep, there's Erica. We were just telling your story, Erica. So, Erica, we were talking about you because somebody on the other live stream said that they have severe social anxiety. And so I was talking about how you called yourself a wallflower and were afraid to stand out in the group. And over time, that has changed. So, Erica, if you end up commenting about that, I'll share your comment to the group. Shanna says, so you said you cut with a skill saw, but how do you get the lines? Okay, so this one, with the lines laser etched on it, that is done with a laser machine. So here in a minute, if you're worried about getting the lines on the inside, the technique that I'm going to show you guys in just a few minutes for how to add a monogram on here is the same technique you could use to add the entire design to your door hanger using our printable templates. So hold out for that in just a few minutes, Shanna. Rosella, you are too sweet. She said, I want you to know you're doing very well tonight and all week. Most of us love watching you paint. I appreciate that so much. I get a little bit nervous. As you can see, my cheeks are turning red. And I start to doubt myself. And now I'm going to have to put my scrunchie on because my nerves have gotten to the point now where I'm getting hot. You would think if I'd been doing this for 4+ years that I wouldn't get nervous anymore, but it still happens. I think it's just a human response. Just knowing so many people are watching, you eventually start to get a little nervous. So hopefully that's encouraging to those of you who are doing Facebook Lives and you still get nervous. It happens to me too. Yes, Erica did a great class on shading recently. She did, Sherry. Thank you, Deco Art. Hang on just a second. Let me go back and see if Erica left a comment yet. Erica said, that is so true. Tamara in the Painters Clubhouse broke me out of my shell, and that I had sealed a shell that I had sealed myself into over the years. I love that. Okay, y'all ready to paint another flower? Actually, before we move on to painting another flower, let's just go ahead and do the shading on this flower. So I used Peony Pink. So now we need, I didn't tell you all the colors at the beginning apparently, because now I'm going to add another color. We're going to shade with the Razzleberry. I love this color, y'all. Razzleberry. I'm going to try to keep it in this little egg carton here and dip in both colors at the same time. I'm going to use the long point of this angle tip brush. Pick up both colors. Now we're going to put that darker color on the outside edge of the flower. Oh, look how pretty these blend. Oh my goodness. Let me show y'all this up close. Look how pretty. Razzleberry and Peony Pink. This might be my new favorite color combination. Let's go around the next one. And if you turn your brush just right, you can do it all in one stroke. Let's pick up some more paint. Let's do this side. Go around. Sometimes you don't get it just in one stroke, but that's okay. Oh, it's so pretty. Sometimes I geek out while I'm painting. Michelle asked, do you send out invites for the private group once we sign up? So Michelle, after you sign up for Painters Clubhouse, go to your email and there will be a link in your email for where to find everything. You can log in and start watching videos. And there's also a link in there for joining the Facebook group. So you can go and request to join the Facebook group. We don't send out invites through Facebook. but you can find the link through the Painters Clubhouse website. So just log in as if you're going to log in and watch the videos, and you'll find the link to join the group in there as well. Look how pretty this flower is. You wish you could find peony pink. It's really similar to bright magenta. It's just a little bit soft. Well, maybe not real similar. I don't know. It's got a touch of a coral color, kind of color to it. Margarita says, I need help with shading. And somebody else said, my hair would have been up a long time ago. Kelly got interviewed today. She said, I was super nervous earlier today. I was more relaxed earlier today, but tonight with more people watching and me painting, I get nervous. You love Erica Wallace and her crazy paint palette. So yeah, if you're wanting to learn more about shading, we have some great tutorials. We have multiple tutorials in the Painters Clubhouse about shading. And so there's all kinds of different topics like that you can dive into and learn more about, whether it be, whoops, I got that all over the middle, but that's okay. Whether it be shading or hand lettering or anything like that you want to learn more about, we have lots of technique videos in there about those topics. Now, if you want to know exactly what's inside the Painters Clubhouse website, go watch the video that I did last night. I did it on Deco Art's page. I also did it on my page. And we showed an inside sneak peek of what the inside of Painters Clubhouse website looks like. So if you're curious about that, go check that video out. Look at this shading. Isn't it pretty? It's not perfect, but it don't have to be. It's going to look great. Okay, let's move on to another color. LaJana said, I was so excited when I went to Hobby Lobby the other day and they had their Deco Art paint filled. Isn't that glorious? It's like, oh, all the colors. And then you want to just scrape them all into your cart. Like you're on, what's that show? What was that show they did back in the day? Supermarket Sweep. You want to like supermarket sweep all the paint into your cart. Oh, thank you for that. Debbie Hobbs says, the lesson of the day, your angle brush, the tips. I never knew this. This is not even the angle brush. Where'd it go? Here, I'll use a new angle brush so that it's clean and I can show you. She said, so tip of the day, the angle brush, the proper name is the toe and the back of the brush is the heel. Debbie, you've taught me something. So now I can go and teach others. Thank you. I'm never above being taught new things. I love learning new things. Will you go over the entire palette for tonight's flowers? I did at the beginning, but at the end, I can go through it as well again. And I've also kind of said it as we've been going. So this is peony pink and razzleberry that we've combined. Burlap, the leaves are Hauser light and Hauser medium greens. Okay, so now this flower, we're going to do Laguna. Look at this lovely teal color. Like Jana said, I really did do that. It took me a while to check out. So you supermarket sweep with all the Deco Art colors. You just scraped them all in your cart, didn't you? Laura said, I never knew that about the brushes. I didn't either. Yes. So I did. Diana said I did cut this out on my Glowforge Pro. So yes, if you are curious about the laser cutting machine, I do have a coupon for $500 off if you're interested in getting one. I've done Facebook Lives about them before, and I also showed a little bit about it on my stories today. So if you go to my page, Southern Adoornments Decor, you can find me talking about it in my stories when I was cutting one of these. It really is nice because it laser engraves these lines in the surface. And of course, we can paint right over these lines and still see them. So that makes it even better. Makes it super easy to kind of paint by number. And that's one of the things that Kelly and I were talking about on our interview today, is that so many times people think they have to be able to draw in order to be able to paint. And that is not true, especially now that we have these things called door hanger templates. Because back in the day, and back in the day was 2017, there was no such thing as door hanger templates. I searched high and low because I was sick of drawing my own designs. And sometimes they would come out too big. Sometimes they would come out too small. Charity, this color is called Laguna. And so I was sick of trying to draw my own designs out and being frustrated that they didn't always come out the way I wanted. And so I started searching for a solution, and I actually figured out how to start making my own templates on the computer And then I figured out how to size them appropriately. And that's when I began selling door hanger templates. And to my knowledge, no one else was selling door hanger templates at that time. I think I might have been the first one. Now, if anybody watching knows otherwise, please tell me, because I had no clue back then, and I searched and searched and couldn't find anybody else selling them. And so once I started creating my own designs and selling the templates, and I was able to get the sizing just right every time, it's made it so that anybody, even if you can't draw, can paint. Because you just take one of these designs, you use the graphite paper to trace it on your wood, and then you can use your jigsaw or whatever to cut it. And so it's taken the whole drawing aspect out of it. And paint is so much more forgiving than a pencil and an eraser. So if you can color on a coloring sheet, you can figure out how to paint. Somebody asked if Walmart is going to start selling deco art. Not to my knowledge, but somebody did say that their Walmart has some. So I don't know. Natalie says she's joining Painters Clubhouse tomorrow. Now, Natalie, I hate to see you wait until tomorrow, because we actually have a couple of bonuses that are still going on. And tonight, one more of those bonuses expires. So if you sign up by tonight, you can get access to this bonus right here. It's going to be expiring after tonight. It's tips from top creatives for how to paint faster. And so if you feel like you take forever to paint, this is going to help you so much. And then tomorrow night, we are also giving you guys a bonus of how to sell your door hangers, even if you don't have a business yet. And this is going to be so helpful for those of you who are trying to be able to afford, the membership. If you can sell one door hanger a month, it's going to make this so much more affordable. Erica says that's a good bonus. Erica should know. She gave some tips in that how to paint faster video. Now, the other video about how to sell your door hangers, I've already been getting some feedback about that as well. Someone watched it and said, oh my goodness, there were so many awesome tips in this that I had never thought of before. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of shading with my favorite color that Deco Art makes. It's bluegrass green. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of that right there beside that Laguna. Pick up my angle brush. We're going to put the toe, see what I did there, in the darker color, the bluegrass green, and the heel in the Laguna. Now we have it on both sides. And we're just going to start with the toe toward the outside of the petal. That is so much easier to explain when I have a name for them. Look at that. So pretty. And then pick up some more paint, do the next petal. You just have to make sure you know where you're putting your brush. Put it toward the outer edge. Pick up some more paint. Let's do this one. We're just going to go around the outside of each petal. Whoops, I almost put the toe in the wrong part of the paint. There we go. This is such a fun color combination. I don't love it as much as I love the pink, but it's pretty. I actually had my front door of my house painted this bluegrass green color. I took one of the paint bottles to a Sherwin-Williams store and had them color match it so I could get the exact color for my front door. Okay, that didn't blend as nicely as it had been, so I'm just wiping a little bit of it off on a paper towel, picking up a little bit more of that Laguna color and just blending. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so now I'm just picking up that Laguna color and kind of just blending it into the middles because I got a little messy with my bluegrass green paint right through there. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, let me show you kind of up close what that shading looks like. See the blue and the green? You finally found bluegrass green at Hobby Lobby. Awesome. Vicki said selling is how I could afford my monthly membership. Helen, the Painters Clubhouse is $47 a month, or you can pay for the entire year and get it for $470, and that gets you 2 months for free. Let's see if I missed any questions. Cameron says, do you ever use an acrylic ice cube tray with the cover here for your paints? I have not, but I have seen several other people do that, and that is so smart. Very, very smart. Let me see if I missed any comments over here. Deco Art says there are some Walmart stores that are starting to sell Deco Art paints. They want to see if it's a successful product for them. So let them know. Do you know what that means? That means go to your Walmart and supermarket sweep all of that paint into your buggy and go check out at the Walmart. That way Deco Art knows, that way Walmart knows that Deco Art is a viable product to be selling at their stores. I wish our Walmart sold Deco Art, so I need to go check and see if our Walmart has any. I haven't seen it yet. Debbie gave us another tip. She said, that's what I tell everyone. If you've ever colored before, even if you don't like to stay in the lines, you can paint. Trust your brushes. They'll do the work for you if you let them. So, so true. I love that saying. Okay. Next color we're going to do is our flower over here. We're going to use this brilliant purple. Love this color too. Can you tell I just love color? The only colors I don't say that about are like browns and grays and blacks and whites. But if it's some kind of bright color, I'm like, I love this color. I think I say that about every color. But truly, bluegrass green is my number one. Nothing will ever compare. Okay. Rinsing my brush. We've used the same two brushes this entire time. We've used this little flat tip brush right here. And we've used this little angle tip brush. So you don't have to have a ton of brushes to paint door hangers. Okay, brilliant purple coming up. We're going to paint this flower here. Look how pretty. This is going to get even more beautiful when we start to paint the bottom part because we're going to add a monogram and some leopard print. So we aren't done yet, folks. Don't go away. And if you're interested in Painters Clubhouse, click the link up in the video description. You can join until Saturday night. But like I said, joining tonight, you will get those extra 2 bonuses. And of course, all of our Painters Clubhouse members, if you're watching right now, you get those bonuses too. We always give our Clubhouse members whatever we're giving away free to other people. They get it as well. And then tomorrow night, I'll be live again at 8:30 Central, painting this same shape, but we're going to take it up one more notch. I thought about using my Glowforge to cut some 3-dimensional elements that we could glue onto this to make it even more awesome. Because somebody in stage 4 at that point, because tonight we're painting it as if we're in stage 3, but tomorrow night we'll paint it as if we're in stage 4. And someone in stage 4 might likely be getting pretty good at the scroll saw, or they may have upgraded and bought themselves a laser cutting machine. And so I want to show you guys how that can impact the designs that you do. It's going to make it look 3-dimensional. It's going to make it look more expensive. It's going to just really take it up a level. And so I know a lot of people think, oh my goodness, laser cutting machines are so expensive. And, I don't see how it would be worth it for my business. But if you can start up leveling what you're doing with your door hangers, it's going to really make all of your designs seem more expensive. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. I don't know how it's going to mix with this color, but we'll see. I don't even know how to pronounce that. So it says dioxazine purple. Sounds radioactive. I don't know. We're going to drip that right in there. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of paint either. We've got just little bitty amounts of paint right through here. Debbie, thank you so much. She said, I love Tamara's positive attitude and the way she encourages everyone to achieve their goals. My biggest regret is that I don't live closer and can't play at her house. We could have a play date. Come on over, Debbie. I live close to Benton, Kentucky, for those of you who are wondering. Yes, Jackie said all of my paint colors are listed in the Painters Clubhouse. So for every design that we teach, we give you a paint color list. We give you the printable template and everything you need in order to be successful in what you're painting. And of course, you have, look at the difference in those colors. This may be kind of crazy. And of course, we give you permission to go and sell anything you make using our designs. You don't have to be a Painters Clubhouse to have that permission. But of course, you could teach it at like a paint party or something like that. And so it's just nice to know that, if you're trying to run a business teaching door hangers, you don't have to continually try to come up with new designs every month. You can just use the designs we're giving you because we put a lot of thought and effort into what we teach in the Painters Clubhouse because we try to choose designs. Whoops, got paint on my hand. We try to choose designs that we think are going to be a big hit, that are going to be best sellers. And sometimes we've been pretty stinking accurate about that, because I know the Magnolia door hanger design we just taught recently, several people have already started selling those and had really good luck. If you're one of those people, let us know in the comments. And then the fall door hanger design that we taught back in August. Oh my goodness. I bet there were hundreds of those being sold around the country that people were painting. And so it's pretty cool. Sandy had a good point. She said, and these ladies don't get mad if you copy their stuff while you're learning. So yeah, if you've ever been accused of copying somebody's art because you're trying to learn, and you know how sometimes when you're learning, you just have to have something to look at, to go off of as an example. You're not going to have that problem in Painters Clubhouse. We all have the motto of community over competition, meaning that rising tides lift all ships. And we don't mind if you copy something we're doing, because we know it's not taking away anything from us. And so we don't worry about that. Let's see. Does DecoArt have an app or a color chart that can be used to track the colors you purchased? Not to my knowledge, but DecoArt, if you're listening, do you have an app? Let's see. Debbie says she's in mid-Missouri, a bit of distance for this old grandma to come for a play date. Missouri's not that far. Debbie has already sold 2 of the Magnolia door hangers. Awesome, Debbie. Jackie said, I love that the DecoArt website allows us to direct purchase from them, and she's always gotten good service. Thank you for that. I'm going to do a little bit of shading around the inside of this circle too. I'm going to put the darker part, which is the toe of the angle tip brush, toward the center. So I'm just going around this circle, putting the darker part in the middle. I didn't do that on the other ones, but I kind of wanted to do that on this one for some reason. That's pretty. Okay, let me show you this purple up close. Real pretty. I feel like the middle probably needs a little bit more of the original purple because the wood's showing through just a little. So let me get my flat tip brush back out, get a little bit of that brilliant purple, and we're just going to dab a little in the middles to kind of fill it in. Not a lot because I don't want to mess up all my shading. Just enough to kind of hide the wood grain. There we go. Okay. Look at this color palette. Isn't this so pretty? It's screaming summer. DecoArt does have a chart. Becky says she printed it this week. Awesome. Will there be a new attachment to replace the magnolias soon? There may be, Kim, for Painters Clubhouse members, for sure. I've been working on coming up with something new. Okay, I think I'm caught up on comments. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add our monogram down here. There it is. I thought it left me. So I printed this out on my computer, and you're going to need, oh, it's almost falling off the table. Hold on. You're going to need graphite paper. You can find this at any craft store. It's also called carbon paper. I get mine on Amazon. So you're going to need this, and then you're going to need an ink pen or something you can trace with. Print this out on your computer. I might have made mine a little bit big, but that's okay. We're going to lay this right across the middle. Allison, my lipstick is Wet n Wild 905D. I haven't been able to find it anywhere. So if you find it in a store, let me know because I'm almost out. Okay, I'm just going to lay this in the middle. I'm going to try to eyeball about where I got it and whether or not it's straight. And then I'm just going to trace right over the top of the lines. Now, this is exactly the same method you would use if you were cutting your door hanger out with a jigsaw or a scroll saw. You would use this same method to transfer the entire door hanger template design to your wood. You would just lay that graphite paper out. You would put the design down, and then you would trace it all on there. Okay, I just realized something. Hold on. I do need to go ahead and put my letter on there. So I'm just lifting up the corners to make sure I'm still lined up. I think I'm close enough. It'll be fine. And I'm going to go ahead and trace my letter on there. I don't know what font this is, so don't even ask. I've already forgotten what font this is. But it was something in Procreate that I used and that I think I had downloaded somewhere and added to Procreate. But if you use Canva to create something like this, Canva has all kinds of awesome fonts. Okay, so we traced the entire thing. Now look here. Ta-da! It's right there on the wood, ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do, because I had a little bit of hesitation about putting that letter on the middle, because once I paint this circle, I don't want to have to paint over my letter. I want to be able to paint the whole circle. So what I'm going to do is take a Sharpie, outline the letter, and then try to stay on the lines, because goodness knows I'm not very good at that sometimes. And you can do this to the entire design that you transfer to your wood, and it makes these Sharpie lines stand out under your paint just a little bit. So you can keep painting over the lines, and the Sharpie should show through a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to do the outside part of the circle because I'm just going to paint that all one color. Do you have a tutorial for each design in the Painters Clubhouse? Yes. Every design in the Painters Clubhouse has a tutorial. Yes, DeFont is a great place to get a selection of fonts also. DecoArt said, we do not currently have an app. We do have a great website that's mobile friendly, and we are active here on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you. Cameron, if you want to find the bonuses inside Painters Clubhouse, send a message to our camp counselor, Megan Ramus, and she'll be able to help you find them. Okay, the next color we're using is Sea Aqua. And we'll rotate my paint palette here. And we're going to do this in the middle of our circle. And I did switch to a slightly larger brush. So we're just going to pick this up. Look, oh, whoops, we're painting right over the top of that. That's okay. That was what I meant to do. So I know it probably looks like I make this look easy, but the more you paint, the more your hand and your body will get used to the motions and the movements that you have to do with a paintbrush. It's like muscle memory almost. We were talking about this earlier today. I do think it's just one of those things that you just get better at the more you do it. And so I've been painting for over 6 years now, and it makes it to where I don't really have to think about what I'm doing when I do it. I just put the paint on there. And so don't give up on yourself. You will be able to get better and faster at this. Okay, now look, that Sharpie is starting to show through. You can't hardly see it on camera, but oh, you can kind of see it from that angle. And so I will still be able to see my letter, even though you guys may be feeling like, oh, Tamara, you can't see it. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a round tip brush now. Let me find a good one. And we're going to get a little bit of this color here, honey brown. And we're going to do some leopard print on the outside part of our pot while our teal is drying. So this is just going to be a super simple leopard print. Get your round tip brush and just do a wiggly half circle on the pot, just going in different directions. And sometimes you can do halfway around and then halfway back around. And you can make this as big or as small of leopard print as you want. I wanted mine to kind of be a little bit chunky. And so I'm intentionally just kind of doing a wiggle motion with my hand to create that leopard print look. You could fill in these leopard print spots if you want. Sometimes leopard print isn't filled in the middle. I'm not going to fill this in. I'm just going to leave it like that. But a stage 3 person in Painters Clubhouse would likely start adding some details like this. They might start thinking, ooh, I really love leopard print and I want to start using more leopard print. And so they might find places to sprinkle it in like this. Cameron said, best tip ever. What do you mean? Do you mean the using the graphite paper? Which part was the best tip for you? Welcome, new Clubhouse member. I don't want to say your name wrong. Kek Nana. I don't know if that's your YouTube name or your real name, but I don't know how to say it. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm making sure I didn't miss any questions. If y'all have any questions about Painters Clubhouse or about what I'm painting, just let me know. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, I'm looking back at my photo so I don't miss anything. Let's go ahead and paint the centers of our flowers. We're going to do like we did last night and add black with little white polka dots. the Sharpie painting over part. Oh, okay. I got you, Cameron. Yeah, it's a whole lot of helpful. Look how much that's shining through now that it's drying. So, yeah, that's a really helpful tip. Okay, just painting the centers of these circles black. And then we're going to go back and add some white polka dots in them. This is going to be so stinking cute when we're done. And then we're going to do something else to the bottom that I haven't told y'all about yet. Okay, so down here, what we're going to do is, hold on. I'm going to get one of my little sponge pouncers like I used last night. Now, we're not going to do our white dots yet. We're going to let that dry. In the meantime, we are going to do some little black dots around the outer edge of this. So I'm going to get a little bit of black paint, scrape the excess off so there's none dripping. And I'm just going to start halfway on and halfway off this little circle, do a dot and lift up. And we're just going to connect these little dots all the way around, kind of like a pearl necklace. So just go all the way around and kind of keep it half on and half off. And if for some reason one of your little dots doesn't get filled in all the way, just get some more paint and dot it again. Now you might have some spots that look a little bit spongy. That's okay. Don't worry about it too much. It happens to me too. But we're not going to agonize over little imperfections, okay? Because once you get it completely done with all the details on it, you probably aren't going to notice that little bitty flaw. Let me get some more paint and keep going. These dots might have been a wee bit big for this design, but we're just, you know, we're already past the point of no return, so we're just going to keep on with it. But these dots might have been a little big. Okay. Let me get my round tip brush. I got to touch up a spot where the brown paint underneath was still wet. There we go. And then I'm going to round out the top of that dot there. There we go. So now we have little dots going all the way around our circle. So you can barely even see that leopard print now. So if you've been sitting here agonizing over how perfect your leopard print is, then you wasted your time. Welcome, Becky, PC sister. She just joined the Painters Clubhouse. So sorry, my nose has begun to run right in the middle of this live. If paint freezes up, does it go bad? I don't know. I haven't had that happen before. I would think probably not. Where can you get this door hanger? Kelly, you can get it in the link up in the video description. Natalie said you make things fun with the simplest steps. Thank you for that. Is there a right and a wrong side to paint on Revolution Plywood? No, ma'am. The other side is just as good, so it doesn't really matter. I think technically right now I'm painting on the back side, and you probably would never have noticed. Debbie said, I've always considered the side with the tag the wrong side. See, I've always considered the side with the tag the right side. So I don't think there is a right or a wrong side. So I would just choose the side that's prettier or looks smoother, less imperfections. Yay, Jill. What a cool name. Jill Estelle also just joined Facebook. Joined the Painters Clubhouse. Welcome. Karen signed up today. Who else? Who else? Have you guys been hiding, watching us this whole time and not told us you're a PC sister? Welcome, welcome. Kim joined last night. Awesome. Who else? Karen said, do you print your wood before you paint? What do you mean print it? I don't prime it. No. If that's what you're asking. No, I don't prime it. I only do that if I'm going to be painting yellow or something. All right, I've got to dry this because there's a little bit of black paint that's still wet, and then we're going to do our dots. Awesome. I see some new people who've joined. Pam Sutton and who over here? It was Donna Fuller, Reba French, and Cindy Weed. Welcome, Painters Clubhouse sisters. I'm so glad to have you join us. If you want to join, click the link up in the video description up above and come learn how to paint door hangers with us every single month. You will not regret it. If you're on the fence and still trying to decide, go back and watch where we interviewed some of our Painters Clubhouse sisters earlier today. Those ladies, it's best, I feel like it's best for you to take it from their mouth, not mine, because of course I'm going to say I want you to join. It's my business, my group. But those ladies, they're not going to lie to you. They're going to tell you exactly how they feel because they're paying members also. And so everybody here in the comments as well, if you're a Painters Clubhouse sister, they could tell you right away that, you know, how they feel about, you know, joining. Laura said, I joined and I'm so glad. Awesome. D. Edwards says, welcome new members. Fantastic group of sisters. Debbie said, if I want to do monthly, can I change to yearly later? Yes, ma'am, you can. You'll just have to email support. Welcome new Painters Clubhouse sisters. Okay, now I'm going to click. My brain is stuck on technology. I'm going to dip my sponge pouncer. We have these sponge pouncers in our shop also at shopdoorhangers.com. Okay, your name's Karen. That's a whole lot easier to say. Welcome, Karen. And so dip in some white paint. We're going to use our little sticky note again, just like we did last night. I'm going to put it on the edge of the flower. And then I'm just going to dip and dab and do dots in my flower. Now I'm going to move my sticky note. Do another one maybe over here, half on and half off. Anytime you're doing polka dots, it's always best if you do some of them half on and half off, because if they all just float in the middle of the flower, it doesn't look like a true pattern. It looks like you intentionally tried to place those dots only in the middle. You know what I mean? It just looks awkward. Let's not make the polka dots awkward. There we go. Oh. Now, some of those need a little rounding out, but once we add our details later, it'll hide some of that mess. Let's do one barely on right here because I kind of got carried away and took up too much space with some of my other dots. There we go. Okay, now we got dots in the middle of our flowers. Look how cute. Nikki said, I didn't think I could paint, but Painters Clubhouse has showed me that I'm more creative than I thought. Welcome to a great group. Kelly said, what's the most members that have joined after a challenge? Oh, goodness. That was last August when everybody was in quarantine and on lockdown. We had 2,600 participants in the Fall Door Hanger Challenge, and we had about 500 of those join the clubhouse from just the challenge. That doesn't include all the people who just joined who didn't take the challenge. That's just the challenge participants. So that was our most successful one ever. Ambi, I interviewed her on, was that Tuesday on Facebook Live? Or maybe it was Wednesday. And she said, welcome to the tribe. Can't wait to get to know all of y'all and learn from one another as we grow our dreams. Let's share. What are your dreams or your aspirations for the next year when it comes to crafting or painting? Share that in the comments. Okay, somebody else said, I just joined a couple nights ago and I started looking right away. There is so much available. If you all are interested, I would definitely make the jump. I was on the fence as far as adding another monthly bill, but I'm so happy I did. I've already sold my Magnolia door hanger that I made, and the membership is paid for this month. Whoop, whoop. That's so awesome. Natalie said, polka dots awkward? Never. Polka dots can be awkward. If you put them only in the middle, they become real awkward. Debbie did the winter challenge. Awesome. Marie says, even when I became big, even when I become big in my business, I will always be a member of Painters Clubhouse. It's just as much about the community and support as it is the how-tos and tutorials. I agree 100%. Let's see. Oh, Michaela said she learned a little tip the other night. When you dab your paint dauber like on your thing to get some of the paint off, she said that's called offloading. I'm learning all kinds of new terms. Did you guys know the term we taught last night, floofing? Or no, it wasn't floofing. It was, what did we call it? Flipping. That was when you did like the little paintbrush around the edge of the flower. Do you get locked in at that monthly price when you join? Yes. When you join, the price you join at will never go up. So we still have Clubhouse sisters in here from 2018. Did I have paint on my face? From 2018 who joined way back then, and they got in for a super bargain of a deal, and they're still paying that super bargain of a deal even today. Tell about the triangle with the polka dots. That helps me a lot. Great thing. Yes, great thing. So she said, that's kind of hard to explain with what I did here, but do you see how these polka dots here make a triangle? That kind of helps you keep them symmetrical. So these polka dots make a triangle. These polka dots make a triangle. Those polka dots make a triangle. And so I can keep my polka dots symmetrical if I always create a new triangle out of every new polka dot that I'm making. So every polka dot that you see, I should be able to draw a triangle between the two polka dots next to it. You love my shirt? Just a small town girl. It's one from cottonchaos.com. Midge just joined yesterday. She said, I'm in awe at all of the stuff on the site. Thank you for saying that, Midge. Stacey's goal is that she wants to start selling her door hangers so she can retire soon. We have some other members in our clubhouse who have retired and started doing this as a way to earn extra income. And so it's been awesome for them. So I hope you can do that as well. It's definitely possible. Christine wants to start doing paint parties. That's awesome. Okay, let's do our letter here in the middle, and then we'll go back and we'll add all of our details up here. Okay, let's take a vote. What color should the letter be? Should it be white? You think white? Or should it be maybe pink? White or pink? Let's vote. Everybody comment, white or pink. What do you think? Nikki said, I would like to sell one a month and grow from there. I'm awkward at trying to get my business started. Nikki, we have several tips in the clubhouse that would be very helpful for you on getting your business going. Goal, can you say GFP, Glowforge Pro? Yeah. I see one white. Oh, goodness, this is going to be hard to see. Sherry says, nope, purple. Pink, white, pink. You're going to make it hard to decide. I'm seeing lots of white, but I'm also seeing lots of pink. Let me go over here. Oh, I'm seeing an overwhelming amount of white over on the Deco Art stream. Okay, I'm seeing a whole lot more white than I am pink. So I think we're going to go with white. I feel like that will pop a little bit more right in the middle of this black. So let's just do that. And you guys, I can still see that letter that I put on there. And I'm just using a round tip brush. You could also do this with a paint pen. I feel like personally it goes a little faster when I use a brush. I was checking to see if I had any paint on my hand. I don't want to transfer it and make a mess. And sometimes when you do it with a paint pen, it takes more than, I don't know. It's like takes several coats to get it thick enough. And even with paint, sometimes on a brush, it can be a little difficult like that. So we'll see how many coats this is going to take. But isn't it nice not to have to freehand your lettering? If you use a template like I just showed you and you use your graphite paper, you can get the whole thing on there in a matter of seconds. And it looks awesome because you didn't have to freehand it. So to fill in these areas in the middle, I'm getting the paint on my brush and I'm flattening my brush out. I'm pushing it all the way down against the wood and dragging it. And that's kind of smoothing out those brush strokes and filling it in faster. It makes it a little bit of a thicker coat too. Okay. So now that I've got the entire thing covered, I'm doing just like I do on a background coat. I'm getting a little bit more paint and just kind of smoothing it out, smoothing out all those brush strokes. I like to think of it like I'm pulling the paint in the direction I want it to go. So think of it like you're just pulling that paint on and around the letter. And it's getting much smoother. Now, I probably do need to let this dry before I do a whole nother coat. I'm still considering this like my first coat. Well, I don't know. This is probably like second coat, actually. Okay, let's dry this. Okay, Patty asked a question. She said, is there any way we can send you pictures from some of our projects and have feedback or tips from you? Sometimes I'm able to do that if I find time, if you guys text me at the number on the screen. But otherwise, if you are in Painters Clubhouse, you will get much faster and more instantaneous feedback from those ladies than you'll be able to get from me, just because I get hundreds of questions a day. So sometimes it can be hard for me to catch up with all of them. So if you need to right now, screenshot that number on the screen. I'll give you a couple seconds to do so before I take it off. And so you can text me a question or a picture at that number. We will, when you text that number also, you'll be opted in to get texts when I go live. So just know that I will be texting you to let you know I'm going to be going live on Facebook or whatever, and keeping you up to date on all the things. Okay. Debbie said, don't be shy, break out the gold. That would be fun. I missed the tall part of my bee. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't think I did. You may mean on the second stroke of it. I'm going to get it here in just a second. You really wish you would have known about me and joined in the beginning to get the best price. Oh, I would wish you would have too, Laura. The little tail end. Oh, you're right. This little part right here is what you're talking about. Whoops. Let's go ahead and dry that. It's going to take a minute to dry. Dee said, I said gold too. Yeah, I should have added gold. That might have been pretty. I don't know. Of course, you could still do gold on top of this white, I suppose. Let's get the white down and then see what we decide about it. That's the thing, is sometimes you get to painting and then you're like, I could do this or I could do that. And sometimes it's hard to make up your mind of which way to go with the design because your creativity is pulling you in 10 different directions. So sometimes if you're stuck on a situation like that, it would be great to just take a picture of it in its current state, post it to Painters Clubhouse and say, ladies, I need your help. What would you do? Would you, do gold, or would you do white, or, whatever? And you can get instant feedback from those ladies, and it will help you be more confident. Whoops, I just got outside the lines. It'll help you be more confident about your decision. Outline the bee in a color. Gold highlights. Y'all are giving me all kinds of good ideas. I do feel like the bee needs something. Like, I may do a drop shadow. I don't know. I might do a drop shadow. I feel like it needs a drop shadow. I don't know that outlining the whole thing would look good, but we could do a drop shadow in some black, and that might look better. It's a little thick. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit of black paint on my brush and do it along the left or the right and lower sides of each part of the letter. Nobody move a muscle. My hands are shaking a little bit. Okay, what do you think? Is the leopard print finished? Yes, I'm not going to do anything in the middle of the leopard print. Okay, what I am going to do is get just a wee bit of black, mix it with some white, and make a gray. And I'm going to add just a little accent on top of my white letter with that gray and see what that looks like. I kind of like that. It's like a little bit of movement. It's a little busy. It's got a lot going on. That's okay. Somebody in stage 3 is trying to figure this out. And so we were playing with the design a lot tonight. So if you don't love the way I did the bee, I'm not 100% in love with it. Take it as a learning experience, maybe change it up. If you absolutely hated this, what you could do is dry it. You could, if this is looking real bumpy because maybe you used a ton of brush strokes, you could just very gently sand right in the middle of this circle, paint the circle teal again, and then just do another letter. And you could choose another color. It's not a big deal. Paint is always able to be changed. Like it's not permanent. Okay. You love the drop shadow, Cameron. Thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody else said, I'm going to sign up tomorrow. Be sure and sign up tonight so you get the 2 bonuses that we mentioned earlier. Bonus number 1 is going away tonight. That is how to paint faster. Tips from top creatives on how to paint faster. And then there's one more bonus available tomorrow, which you get both of them if you sign up tonight. How to sell your door hanger even if you don't have a business yet. Okay. Let's start adding some details. So instead of doing the paint pens tonight, I thought it would be fun if we did our details with a round tip brush. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to my black, and I'm going to switch brushes. I'm going to get one that's a little thinner. Here's one. This one's real thin. They don't have very many bristles at all. It's like almost like writing with a needle point. I'm going to pick up some of this black, offload a little bit of it, and now we're just going to add some details. So we're going to do our little what did we call them last night? Whoops, whoop, whoop. So just add some little whoops, whoop, whoop, whoop. You can be silly about it. They don't have to be perfect. Whoop, whoop. Now if you have watered down your black paint, be careful going back and forth from your egg carton to your project. Don't let that black paint drip, because if you've gotten it real watered down, going back and forth, sometimes it will drip. Okay, now let's do some on our letters. Now see, look how the motion of the brush looks completely different than when you do paint pens. It's just a little bit more free flowing. It looks a little bit more artistic, I feel like, because you can give it a little bit more of a wiggly motion when you make your lines. We can do our little lines in the middle to add a little bit of movement. And then let's get a little bit of white and do the same thing. Let's add some details with the white. You love the drop shadow? Thank you. So I'm picking up the white now. I'm going to add just a little wiggle. This is my style. I kind of like to add just a little bit of highlights and action, because I feel like the white kind of makes things pop, makes it look alive. This is the fun part for me. Adding all these little details really makes it come alive. Okay. And then you could add some to the dots here if you want to, but I don't want to busy it up any more than it already is, so I'm probably not going to. I may take my black paint, though, and do just a little bit of an outline around these to clean up where my polka dots weren't exactly rounded. So I'm just taking that round tip brush, going around the outer edge. It just cleans them up a little. Whoops. If you don't get your arm in the paint, I just got my hand in that paint there. There we go. All right. So if you want to get if you want to get this one, if you want to win it, I can totally take the B off of it and I can put your monogram on it. So just be sure and sprinkle the love and leave a comment that you've done so, and we will get you entered to win, and we'll announce who gets it tomorrow night. Meg says, I signed up for the Painters Clubhouse this morning. I'm so happy that I did. I love to paint, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, you know what? We got your back, Meg. We're going to help you figure this out. Awesome. You guys are all having total. See, this is how much Erica is part of the clubhouse. Becky just commented and said, Erica, tell Ray Lynn, who is Erica's daughter, that her fan club says, hey, girl. Erica's daughter is even well known in the Painters Clubhouse, and her daughter is about Charlie's age. She's actually a year younger than Charlie, and she's already a superstar in the Painters Clubhouse. You love the way the little things kind of wake things up. I think so too, Debbie. Let's hold it up like this so you guys can really see the colors. And then let's compare to the ones that we did last night and the night before. So this was night 1. Hold on. Night 1 to now. Look at the difference. Night 1 to now. Boom. It's like it woke up. And then night 2, stage 2, it kind of has almost the same amount of stuff going on, but this one has all the shading. So we started doing the shading. We did a little bit more detail down at the bottom. And so there's not a huge difference between stage 2 and stage 3. But this person is starting to get more confident with the finer details. So this person is less confident with the fine details. So they just whoop, 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 and they do all the colors around the petals, okay? That's totally fine if that's where you're at. We love that style too. But this person right here is starting to get more confident with shading and things. And so they're starting to add more details like that. And look at how pretty all of these colors are. I actually do kind of like the white now that it's dried. So it looks kind of 3D, doesn't it? Any other questions before I go about Painters Clubhouse? There's a link up in the video description. You can click there to join. You have until Saturday to join, but again, if you join by tonight, you get both of the bonuses that we are offering. You get to learn how top tips from creatives for how to paint faster, and then how to sell your door hanger even if you don't have a business yet. Michelle says, I love the difference. Erica loves the style of the flowers on night 2. Me too, because you are like me. We love all the colors, and we love to like add all the fun little details. Thank you for sprinkling the love. You'll be entered to get this one right here. I'll be able to add your monogram to it. We can change it up. Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate you being here. Sheila says, it just keeps getting better and better. Let's keep it going. Yeah, so tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Central, I'll be back again. We're going to paint the last one of these, and we're really going to take it up a notch. We're going to take 3-dimensional flowers and paint them and glue them to the door hanger so that they look like they're popping off the surface. We're going to do a 3-dimensional monogram down here. It's going to be so cool. Somebody asked, do we need to sand the wood before painting? No, ma'am. Not at all. Or no, sir. Not sure if it was a ma'am or a sir that asked. I just always say no, ma'am. Is this the only time of year you can sign up? We also open in the fall. So we'll be opening again probably in August. So don't wait that long. Like think of the progress you could make between now and August. I was interviewing Kelly earlier today, and she said since August, she has sold, I think it was 85. Was it Kelly or maybe, hang on, let me look at my notes. Was it Kelly or Cindy? No, it was Cindy. Cindy Fowler said that since the fall, she has sold 85 door hangers and had 6 paint parties. So if you wait until August, you might not make that kind of progress. But think how much extra income you could be bringing in if you go ahead and join now by selling and hosting paint parties between now and then. So don't wait. Cindy said, I missed the beginning. I'll have to go back and watch again. Absolutely. You can go back and watch it anytime. There's not a certain time to join Template Club. Somebody was asking. That's a whole separate thing from Painters Clubhouse. But if you want to get the bundle that comes out March 1st, just join before then. Thank you for sprinkling the love. Thank you, Maria. No, there is no coupon code. I had a couple people ask that. There must be some sort of option for a coupon in checkout, but there's not a coupon code. So don't worry about that. Yes, 3D is going to look awesome. I can't wait. All right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll see you again. What is today? Today's Thursday. So tomorrow morning, I'll see you guys at 9:30 a.m. Central on my Facebook page, Southern Adoornments Decor, or on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be sharing 5 of my favorite things. Look at all the paint on my hand. 5 of my favorite things with you guys. So come join me at 9:30 in the morning. Oh, Debbie just said, I'm so glad I didn't wait. I joined right after the fall challenge. Awesome. And then tomorrow night, I'll be back again at 8:30. And so I will see you guys tomorrow. Somebody asked what kind of paint pens I use. Real quickly, I use Posca paint pens. You can find them on Amazon. They're also listed in my Amazon affiliate shop. This hanger, Kim, is 12 inches in size. It's not really a door hanger size. It's like a mini. So if you're going to do a door hanger size, probably go with more like 20 inches. All right. Bye, you guys. See you next time.